talked about you just kind of being able to get used to playing with more weight than you have maybe in the past. Just talk about that kind of that transition's been like getting used to that.
Yeah, I think looking at last year, this time, I was pretty undersized, playing like middle linebacker, like 205. So, gaining that weight, spending a lot of time in the weight room with Coach Nick and the strength staff has really helped, obviously. Gotten a lot stronger and, gotten a lot better with my hands, so it's definitely paid off.
You talked about a savviness of playing the linebacker position that you still have to learn, not specifically, but just in general. What is that savviness like? What are the things that you've had to learn about playing the linebacker position? He said, you can go, but there's a savviness you have to learn.
Yeah, I think it's just, kind of knowing, like, when to tempo and, gap and, when to just, shoot it. I think a lot of us guys in the room have a big nose for the ball. Just kind of knowing when to be under control and pull your trigger and when to slow down.
Garrett, can I ask a favor? Can you scoot up a little bit?
Oh yeah.
You're good.
Sorry.
A little bit more. Keep going.
Just into the mic.
I want to make sure I can hear you.
Okay.
You're going through the torture. Let's at least make sure that we can hear you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
What are you excited for this season? You got all of last year under your belt. You know how things kind of go now. Do you feel so much more comfortable now in spring ball?
Yeah. I think going through a whole year, obviously, going as long as we did, having a year under my belt is, just knowing how everything, runs in the building, knowing how practice runs, the speed of the game. I think that's all really, developed me into, a better player, just knowing how to handle everything. But it's been really good. I've handled well.
What's it like working with Matt Patricia?
It's been good. He's a real good guy, real good coach. I've been really excited to learn from him and kind of pick his brain a little bit. He's done a good job of kind of just taking a little bit at a time as we go because everything's new and we're all learning. So it's been really good. So.
How much were you talking to Cade as you got here and kind of going through that first year? Obviously, he's doing his own thing, but just what this is all like.
Yeah, no, I think having him go through the whole process has been is a big thing. Kind of having him in my corner, just talk to or call whenever I need. We still talk a lot, and I ask him questions whenever. So when I first got here, he was still here, training and everything, getting ready for the NFL. So it's been I have him whenever, so it's been good.
What's it like watching him now in the NFL, with the Texans, guy that obviously pretty well, doing, living out his dream basically? Yeah, no, it's been good. I've been super happy for him. He's down there in Houston, with CJ and everything. I think he really likes it. So, I'm excited to see what he does this next coming year.
Just how different is year two from year one, just in terms of like just being a college student and being comfortable with that in all those senses? Just how different do you feel? Not physically, just in everything that goes into it.
Yeah, I think you kind of realize that this is your life, and you gotta come in here to a place like Ohio State, like playing with the best every single day. You gotta put the time in. You got to gotta make sacrifices. To what you want to get out of it in the end. Along with school and just living on your own. It's good for you. It teaches you a lot, and as you get, it just makes you better overall.
When you graduate from year one to year two, now you have guys like Riley and TJ under you. How you looked up to guys. Cody's gone, so he's going to take that role now. But now you have guys underneath you. What kind of leadership qualities have you felt you've had to were obligated to grow for those guys going on?
Yeah, just kind of just show them the way around the building. Just how we do it here at Ohio State, how we operate. They've I think all three young guys coming in have done a great job. They have great work ethic. I think for me, in the off season, it was more like a lead by example kind of thing. And sprinkling a little bit of vocal leadership in there as well, but just kind of working with them and kind of showing them how the older guys and how we do things in the room is definitely carried on to
being a part of that championship run last year. I guess what did you learn from that run that they went on, you guys went on, and I guess what did you learn about what it takes to win at the top level?
I would just say staying together. Our biggest thing was each week was just trying to keep that group together each week, and I think last year we had such a strong bond together. With all the guys, I think that was really the motivation. Just staying together and like a band of brothers.
James has talked about in the past. I know you have Sonny and Arbel, kind of maybe the two deep, but James was talking in the past about the fact that if you're playing well, if you're making plays consistently in practice, you're going to find playing time. You're going to see good. How refreshing is that approach? You're not calling to guys in front of you. You're making plays. You're playing well. You'll have a chance to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, it just starts with, you know, coming out to practice every day and with your head down, just, you know, making sure you're going hard every single play, you know what you're doing, you know, so you can build that trust. But I think you know, just having the guys around, you know, like Sonny, Arvell, Peyton, you know, who's you know been in there, you know, playing in the games and everything like that, you know, to lean on and ask them questions and stuff. So you're ready.
Where are you sitting at weight class?
I'm like 227.
What's the goal before the fall? Have a goal?
It's still 225 right now, but I think it'll bump up to like 230. So getting a little more.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
To go off that, do you feel a sense of urgency to be part of that too deep, to provide, you know, depth or maybe more than that this season, kind of going into year 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think all right now I'm kind of focused on is just getting better every single day. I think that's kind of what the spring's for, is you know, individually just, you know, continue to perfect your craft every single day, whether that's technique or, you know, scheme or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think that's, you know, it's definitely, you know, something in my head. You know, obviously, you know, came here to play, so I think that's definitely a motivating thing.
All right, Garrett, thank you very much.